time for round 11 of the 25th season of the Allflattious iGP Championship. And it is the McLaren team who have annexed the front row today, the Constructors' Championship leaders, but surpassed in the drivers, both of them, last time out by Carlos Reutemann. They're now separated by just a few points. I think 5 points covers the top three in the championship, and McLaren will be looking to leapfrog Reutemann and get back into the lead. It's Prost on pole from Peterson. As per usual, Brabham favouring softer tyre compounds at the start. Nannini once again ahead of Carlos Pache. Another impressive qualifying from Mario Andretti, really putting teammate Dan Gurney to shame. He's joined on the third row of the grid by his teammate for next season, Carlos Reutemann. Reigning champion Rolf Stomlin's given the home fans something to cheer about. He's qualified 7th, well ahead of his teammate. Jackie Ickx joining him on the fourth row, just ahead of his teammate Eddie Cheever, the two RWBs, the closest teammate pairing on the soft tyres. Rounding out the top 10 is Jean-Pierre Jabouille. Dan Gurney and Patrick Depay both lagging behind their teammates. Depay will be especially disappointed given his excellent result in Britain, where he finished second after a run of poor form. It looks like he may be returning to that poor form today. The 7th row is the two Tyrrells, Jody Scheckter and Jochen Rindt, both on the podium in the last two races, giving Tyrrell 2 podiums for the season, though aside from that, they've had little to write home about. Sebastian Bourdais eclipsed once again by Jabouille. He's down in 15th. By far the worst qualifying relative to their teammate. Jean-Pierre Jarier, the winner in Silverstone, 10 places behind Carlos Reutemann, but we've often seen Jarier charge through the field. 4 cars have opted to start on the mediums. The 2 Aston Martins, Beltois, a race winner this season, leads Gonzalo Rodriguez. And then the 2 Arrows cars with Baldi ahead of Servos Gavan, taking a bit of a running lead in that qualifying head-to-head.
Indeed. So, nearly half a minute away from the start of, as you said correctly, round 11 of, 17 this season that we have scheduled races. Just the one extra this season, but we'll be back to 16 next. But another McLaren 1-2 at the front of this race to begin with, most likely, although there is obviously the possibility the 2 Brabhams will get back above them with maybe their possible still continual fuel advantage, but I don't know how much of an effect that does have now for them. But anyway, 5 minutes from lights out, 5 seconds from lights out, as we have the lights ahead of us now for the German IGP, and we're underway. And there's already a pass from Rolf Stomlin into the lead. That was a bit of a glitch.
That almost looked like a jump start.
Yeah, that happened in France as well. I said that on the French, but it's happened at another track now. I wonder if this is another track where AI do have a problem with their stops. We'll see. But already a bit of a bug there. But we'll go back to the front. I was just looking a bit further down. There's that was interesting. Rolf Stomlin jumps into the lead from absolutely nowhere. That was 1970s-esque start, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, that's just a jump start in my book. I hope he's massively underfueled, but
I think that was a glitch.
That was a jump start to me.
Yeah, there's nothing to the fuel. That was just a bug. It's just a bug with how the starts work. It happens on Paul Ricard as well. I said it many times on the broadcast.
Well, he's going to get absolutely eclipsed by the McLarens now.
Yep. That is for sure, as they're boosting away to get away from everyone. They're not happy with what's going on. Wise. Anyway, so we've got Peterson and Prost exchanging themselves from first and second. Then the 2 Brabhams. That's basically how the grid was set up for the start in terms of the two front rows. And then Stomlin and Andretti a bit behind Stomlin following, so he's going to be under threat here with the DRS on this lap. Of course, it comes into effect on the second lap now, as he's about to lose a heck amount of positions here, even behind Jody Scheckter, who's now just got into the top 10. So Prost, Peterson, a bit of a gap over Peterson at the moment. It's so fast-paced here. Nannini following. Then it's Pache, Stomlin, Ickx, Reutemann, Cheever, Depay, Jabouille back ahead of Scheckter, who's down to 11th again. Lap 3 of 67, about to go on to lap 4.
Yeah, Peterson looking to close in on his teammate to get into that DRS. Will he do enough? Not quite. He has not done enough.
No, and
that's fine.
Nannini didn't quite stick with him either. But Pache's now under threat from the people behind him. Nearly passed by Ickx. Might be passed by Stomlin, who seems like he's still quick from the get-go here. Is
Yeah,
Reutemann
it was
is
a
now
very
down to 10th.
disturbing start.
Jabby
For,
passing. Yeah.
very,
Yeah,
very interesting
that's
start.
that's just a bug. It happens at certain venues. We didn't know which ones yet though, because we haven't run everywhere
Yeah, so
yet.
I think Serval's Gavan is extremely light on fuel in the arrows at the back of the field, and that's why he is. Yes, it appears not to be. It appears to be way higher than expected. But there we are. Yeah. In December, it seemed to be all right on a lower level, but there we are. It's not quite the old Hockenheim, no. Indeed. So the soft tyres looking like a pretty favourable race tyre as the Alphas are closing up on the McLarens, and Peterson goes into the pits. So what are Alpha going to do? They're going to waste their boost, or they're just going to be canny and let Prost be with his position out front. It looks like they are just going to let Prost be as... No, they're not. I don't know what on earth the point of that was, but there we are.
No, I don't either.
Peterson then rejoins in 17th place.
Yep,
So
but
Alpha feel...
but he'll count on an undercut because he's not very far behind these guys. As I said, it's a short pit lane and it's probably even shorter now, so he's basically with them again. Of course, these guys are going to have a short stop as well, but it is probably an ideal tactic that McLaren have pulled for this race with the way that the update is.
I think that was odd
gone.
by out for an unnecessary. It's allowed them to get away from RWB for the moment,
Yeah.
and Ligier, crucially.
Yeah, but a lot of other teams are lurking. Schecter's starting to get into this race now, as he often does, really. He doesn't qualify... Well, the Tyrrells don't generally qualify well this season, but Schechter comes into the races eventually. Although he's
DRS here is extraordinary.
Yep. I think what McLaren have got going for them is that the fact that the soft tyres don't really last that long either. The fact that they've got this now and they've got an undercut is probably going to be something they can hold on to.
Yeah. I would say so.
Anyway, so Cheever now under threat from everyone behind, who are going to try and get off after the as Reutemann goes past, and Schechter did actually not have DRS, which is a bit strange because his gap seemed okay. But anyway, he's now down to 10th, unfortunately, as Rindt replaces him in terms of the pecking order, in terms of the two Tyrrells. Anyway, so Depay and Stomlin out front. How long are they going to go on for?
Very odd as well to see with Ferrari. It's Gurney who's ended up ahead of Andretti somewhere. Gurney is the one who is really leading that fight. Yeah, and that's odd.
But then again, it does usually go back to Andretti as the race progresses. Sometimes. Obviously, they're on their own, though. They're nowhere. They're just, well, as AI, they're just seconds off at the moment of the same people they're on the strategy with. As Rindt, for some reason, didn't have what he wanted either. Is something going on with Tyrrell there? Because I don't really understand that. Rindt was 5th and dropped down to...
Well, powerful DRS.
Well, I guess if he was 5th, he was right up behind Stomlin, so it must have just been some weird thing going on there. But anyway, is what it is. I think he'll be in for medium tyres, as a lot of other people will be as well.
So no undercut has worked McLaren. They just came out with Depay
Yeah.
right with them.
No, that's strange. It just didn't
That's
happen.
very unexpected. Did Depay use boost? I don't think so.
No. Well, that was strange, wasn't it?
It's all been very strange, but Reutemann now leads, the man who I think was favourite to win this race. It is his favourite circuit here.
Yep. He's often had good races here.
Yes, he has, very often.
But,
This is his favourite circuit, after all.
Yeah. That's just, yeah. A lot of what's going on isn't really making a lot of sense, but, yeah. Really, that's just what I've come to expect since this, wheel-to-wheel stuff has been implemented. So the two RWBs out in front yet to stop, but obviously we'll be stopping this lap in one case for one car, I would hope, for their sakes. But yes, okay, so X is in, so Cheever will be the next lap. He'll suffer. He probably won't actually suffer that much based on what's happened so far, as X goes to the medium tyre, so he goes along with what Rint's done in terms of, and yeah, just Rint in terms of the guys who went on to start on softs. Oh, sorry, also both Alfa Romeos have done that as well. This is just a very fragmented race, and losing DRS at the moment is not helping a lot of people. It's
No, it's not.
But I guess it's the best thing about this, having a bit of a split in the field rather than everyone just being together, which is usually bad. That said, I don't like the idea of 4 cars being close together. If you're going to have any cars close together, have all of them. Anyway, Prost effectively
That's get mauled.
Yep, and now not. It would be Peterson, because Cheever obviously is going to stop. He's going 2 laps longer than his teammate then. Is that an AI thing, do you think, or was that just planned? I don't know.
I don't know, I didn't pit.
Well, so it must...
Well,
Well, no, to be fair, it only affects you once you've made your stop, doesn't it? So that doesn't really fit in with the general problems of the game. But, yeah. I don't think the medium tyre is that good. At least not in Rint's case. He's struggling massively. It is working for Alfa.
The Alphas are fine. It's working very well for Alfa.
Yeah, but they were the ones who came in quite early and just were in the pack. They were at the front. At the front of the previous pack, obviously. If you're further back and you're on the tyres, I think it's a bit more of a struggle. It's probably helping that they've got a lot of dirty air at the moment and they're just heating those tyres up.
I really think dirty air exists as a result of the update.
Well, it still exists to the physics. It's still in the game. It's just not as effective as it used to be in terms of stopping overtakes.
So now notice 1-2, Jarre and Reutemann. Jarre from 16th on the grid, so he's about to take the lead. He does not quite lead the race yet.
No.
As Reutemann goes down to 6th position. They are just going side by side the whole time. It is a bit of a lottery.
Yeah. I suppose that's what we expect, though. So we've got a bit of a different field now. We've got these 6 cars at the front of the field. The 2 Alphas, the 2 McLarens, and 2 Lotuses, and then everyone behind in a class of their own.
Yeah, well, that's how it used to be, isn't it? With Lotus, Alfa, McLaren out front. Ligier not really knocking in particularly impressive results.
No. Although, I don't think they'll mind that they've got currently 2 cars in the points again. That's what they're aiming for, really. I don't think they've probably got a chance with the second half of the season. Alfa Romeo seem to be putting on now, as they are likely to exit, of course. But we try everything to defend the championship, which I think is too far gone, obviously. But they'll try. Anyway, Stomlin at the front of this race. Once he passes... Well, only briefly, because Reutemann gets past him, as they use DRS up behind Prost, who's down to 5th. But Peterson's off the back of him just slightly. Nearly a second, so he's struggling. It's not helping that the other cars are obviously not there as well. They're kind of in their own fight now. Scheckter included. Case of Ix and Rint, Cheever, medium tyres, not that beneficial at the moment. But
I think Ix is fine.
Yeah, but he's not going to. Yeah, but he's not going to be challenging for the top 5. He's going to be challenging for scraps in terms of points. But anyway, Definitely not the case of Rint or Cheever. Cheever just went too long and Rint just no pace again. Terrible driver. But anyway. At the front, stolen back into the lead. Jarry, then Reutemann second and third. It's really working for Alfa at the moment, being on these tyres, I think. It's going to help them. Seeing as there is seemingly not much of an undercut at all, if any.
No.
Also, looking at what's happening with the tyres in terms of the mediums, they're not ideal at all. They don't even heat up. So I don't know how Alfa are making it work.
RWB are fine with the mediums. They've got good temperature. So does Peterson.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because Rint has none and he's been on the fullest push level the whole stint.
I know Peterson's in trouble here.
Yep.
That's all I can say.
That's for sure.
I think to do a bit of burning of the boost. Catch up to his teammate. So, maybe a bit of trouble later on in the stint for Peterson, but...
Yep, possibly.
See. It's coming into the mediums because it is now an Alpha 1-2 and they are looking quite comfortable against the Lotuses. Is that Scheckter on the boost trying to go for the lead group?
Don't think he got it though. He was too far away. Yeah, he just lost he lost all that time in that stint there at the start of it for some reason. Now he's not really gonna... Yeah.
That's going to be an absolute pain for McLaren, but Cheever is there, and he's not going anywhere, and same with Jock and Rindt. So Jarry, the first in of the new front-running group. He joins on soft tyres, just where Prost is. And Peterson too. There we are.
Yeah.
I can't hear... I was going to say I can't hear anything, but nothing was being said.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, at the front. There goes Stomlin and Depay.
Struggling to keep up with Cheever. Yeah, I don't know where I think I missed something, because I don't know where Jarry got ahead of the McLarens and all that, but...
Just when he made his
looking
stop,
quite nice.
He just had a decent gap, didn't he? He just fell into a decent gap, but when he made his second stop, didn't lose much time, clearly.
Yeah.
And then, possibly with DRS, I guess, but Scheckter in. Presumably to medium tyres.
Yeah, and the longer running guys are going to be the guys on...
Yeah.
Mediums.
Yeah. Stomlin, Depay, X, then Cheever. The ones who are going to go a bit longer, I suspect. Definitely in the RWB's case, because I think Alfa Romeo will come in, obviously earlier. Having stopped a bit, although they can play for time as well, because they've got it. They don't have to pit immediately, they don't have to react. They're not losing massive chunks just yet, but I suspect they will probably on this lap, potentially. Although not that much, really. Well, apart from to the Lotuses, who obviously are on the soft tyres, and those will degrade away.
Yeah. I think McLaren just want to stick with Lotus. Unclear what the hell's going to happen with Alpha.
Yeah. They're just going to keep going if I was them.
As yeah, McLaren surpass.
Maybe this lap or the next, I suspect. Probably the best idea.
They've got to stick. They've got to keep with Lotus of the two McLarens. They've got to keep on the back of Carlos Reutemann. As Lotus are trying to get a gap and pull away. And they're going to interrupt Lotus's game by jumping ahead of Jarrier. Frenchman. Jarrier is trying to fight back, but unsuccessfully. Extremely funny. As
I hate when they come into the pit lane. They stop just before they get into the actual part where the pit boxes are, and then they appear in their pit box. It's just weird. It's terrible the way that the game's been made. I'm sorry, it's quite shoddy, amateur. But yeah.
Alpha are rather further back.
Yes. So the pie slots in 8th, nowhere near anyone, and no one either behind him or ahead at the moment. Just Scheckter a couple seconds behind, who's absolutely nowhere, just has no pace today. And Tyrrell can't seem to warm up their medium tyres at all, despite being continually on the highest push level in this race, even on the soft tyres. But yeah. Stomland slots in behind.
RWB finally lost DRS with Chiva.
Yeah, those tyres are going to start struggling, I suspect. And considering the lengths that considering the length they had on their first stint, it's going to be interesting here for them. Sort of shooting themselves in the foot, because they probably have a good chance here today. Obviously, it'll come back to them.
Better tyre wear than everyone else.
Yeah, but it might come back to them, but by then it might be too late. Especially in Chiva's case. But anyway, Ix is back onto the soft tyres anyway, which is interesting. But yeah. Where is he? He's up. He's still in 10th. Well, sorry, still in the points, but 10th. This is just a very weird race.
Yes, but an interesting one, I think.
Yeah. I mean, it would be better if it was 2 people out in front instead of just, 6 cars, basically.
It's 4, really, at the moment.
No, I meant Depay and Stomlin. They're going to be in it again. They're going to be back with everyone, so it will be 6. And then it will be another field behind. Which at the moment seems to be Scheckter's. Although Jabby will come back at him on the soft tyres and more boost. Scheckter had to do that though, for some reason he was slower despite having a younger tyre. But anyway, out front, Prost behind Jarrier. And Peterson behind Reutemann as they continue to tour around. How longer can they go?
Yeah, and I think it's actually starting to be a struggle now for Lotus on tyres.
Yeah. Indeed. As here goes Ix. And, well, both RWBs have decided to deploy their boost. So, presumably, that is the end of their boosting. Well, it is going to be the end of their boosting for the race, obviously. But,
yeah.
I think Scheckter tried to get back to Ix.
Prost and Reutemann are really going at it now.
You should just let Cheat.
It looks as though it is going to be Reutemann who ends up behind. That's fine, as they've come across the back of, I think that's Gavin. I know it's Mario Baldi's arrows. Yeah. But Reutemann gets ahead anyway.
Gavin actually ahead of Baldi once more in this race.
Indeed.
Although, no manager today.
No.
Anyway, so, who's going to blink first?
It'll be Peterson who'll be the first car in.
Yeah. Alpha's starting to slow down in their progress now, although that's because they're stuck up behind cars they don't need to be. Although they're just slow at the moment because those cars are on soft tyres and pitted later than them. Which is not going to be of help to the Alpha man, who I imagine might be quite annoyed, but I don't know. We'll see. His behaviour and his thoughts are very unpredictable this season, so just leave him to it, I guess. Anyway, at the front. So, yeah, Jarrier and Peterson the first to come in. So, presumably, then it's going to be, well, similar. Or it's going to be next lap for Reutemann, and then Prost maybe as well. I don't know. He might have to react, obviously.
Yeah, Prost should be in this lap.
And he'll like that because he's ahead of Reutemann. Unless Reutemann goes
yeah.
Anyway, so, yeah, Where is Jari? He's up behind Scheckter. He'll get rid of him quite quickly, I should imagine. He's on tyres that are 9 laps older and he's made an extra stop. So that's the kind of difference we're seeing at the moment. So basically, one half the field is already... Well, the top 6 are basically a stop ahead of everyone, effectively. Not in terms of time that they've got at the moment.
Alpha are trying a 3-stop, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
And it was, did Reutemann just jump Prost in the pits?
Don't know, didn't see it. Anyway, here is everyone. They're all back together, and they're passing Scheckter. I think Scheckter might try and hold on, if he wants. I suppose it would only be good for him in terms of Jabri, who's probably... Well, he's quite far behind him now, but obviously Jabri has just pit, so that would be why. Which is quite early for him, to be fair. And he did a 12-lap stint. So...
Scheckter's costing Prost a load of time here. The man whose seat he is taking for next season.
I don't think he gives a shit, really.
No, I think he's just in it for himself. But...
Obviously. Anyway, so at the front, X obviously used all its boost now, so... And then the 2 Alfa Romeos, which of course, Peterson, Reutemann, Prost and Jerry are chasing after.
They're lapping a Brabham from the front row. Yes, so clearly there's significant... Yeah, the tyres' temperatures are not as expected, let's put it that way.
Oh, yes. Yes, so it's quite obvious from the start. You need to have a higher push.
I also don't know why Ligier is struggling so much, but anyway.
Well, I don't think pitting when they just did is helping, to be fair to them.
Yeah, they've gone for an
They've basically given away Scheckter, really, because they were actually probably in a good chance of being quicker than him, based on prior to when he boosted ahead of Jabri and then got away from him. And that was despite having all the tyres. But anyway, yeah, Scheckter's now on his own, so we'll not focus on that. We'll go to the front.
Peterson's starting to struggle. I think the Lotus might be a better car than the McLaren here.
Yeah, so how far are they behind the top 4? So they're, 6 seconds from Reutemann to 4th place. Well, it was 4th place to Pi, it's now 3rd place. As Cheever goes back to 4th. Reutemann and Jarier, the 2 Lotuses, 5th and 6th, and then the 2 McLarens, Peterson ahead of Prost, but that would be expected.
Yeah, Prost just got
everyone else downwards, not in this fight, basically. Which is sort of the state of this race at the moment, but anyway. And we're not far away from the end of it. We're already on lap 41 of 67. It's gone by quickly.
The Lotus has decided their man for the win has to be
Reutemann.
Jarier. Sorry, yes, Reutemann. So Jarier is being
that would not be a surprise. He's leading the championship, isn't he? So, or wasn't he?
But he is leading the championship,
yes,
and he would still be leading the championship as it stands after this race.
Yes.
Because none of the drivers who can take it from him are ahead of him. They're all directly behind him. This is looking quite
although not far behind him.
For Alpha.
Yes, but I strongly suspected that based on their first medium stint. They had pace despite being on those tyres, which generally, apart from them, I know you say in the case of RWB it was alright, but they were still quite far behind. Obviously they're now here though because of their boosting, and they're back to the soft tyres obviously, so it's going to help them.
Strange tactics there from Lotus, who boosted Reutemann away from.
Do you think there's going to be a problem with fuel here?
No, depends how much you've got in.
Oh well, no, I meant certain cars, not the front of the field.
Even on a higher push level, the fuel seems to be fine.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Anyway, you're probably right though. I think we've had problems with fuel here for quite a few seasons. So, X, rather ignore that because that's just a fight that's continuing between the two Alphas and 2 RWBs as everyone else behind is closing in, although not closing in that massively. Although Reutemann in the last few laps has taken out 2 seconds from what was 4th place of Pi, now Stomlin, as X is in, of course, on the end of lap 43. Back onto soft tyres, predictably. Yeah, he's beaten. Yeah, he's going to do well here today. He's going to score points quite a good amount as well.
Yeah, so Alpha are just running, I think, as long as they can until they need to really get to lap 50, though. I mean, yeah, Alpha are just in no man's land. They're going to probably pit this lap and maybe go soft. But they're in real strategic no man's land, as Yes Depay is in. And does he go to Yeah, so they are in a strategic no man's land, but they are going to try and hunt down 4 cars who are ahead of them.
Yeah. So they are having to make...
Seems.
Yeah. Yeah, it was going to be a struggle, really, to just do 3. That wasn't happening.
Yeah, I think that's what RWB were originally trying, but it didn't work.
No.
Is that a legitimate
That tyre
fight
really dies
between-
off at the end, and it's also just
There's a
not
legitimate
ideal.
fight going on between Arrows and Brabham, by the looks of it, but
Yeah. Sort of, yeah. Well,
looks like Jarienko have caught Stommelen.
well, there was. I don't think there is now, though, because Baldi is on all the tyres and has fallen behind Pache, and Pache's already made it. Well, Pache and both Nannini have both made their 3rd stop, so I think that's just Arrows doing a free stop, I would guess, probably. That's probably what they're going to do. So maybe they hope that they can get ahead and stay ahead, but I doubt it. I think
It's going to be a pretty comfortable 7-8 for RWB unless they run out of fuel, which is
yeah,
of course
it's going to be
possible.
blocks potentially. We've got a possibility of blocks today, apart from 9th and 10th, I would suspect.
Well, because Rint is just not quite competent enough.
No, he's on the straight relative to Scheckter, but he's only starting to make most of it now. But it's too far away from him, really. He might beat Bourdais if he starts closing in on him enough, but otherwise, I don't think he's going to get to Jabwi. I think Scheckter's
They are now
9th.
catching the Aston Martins. Rodriguez last.
Yeah, I don't think Alpha are going to be happy about the fact that RWB are here. This is sort of just breaking
what can
their
they do?
progress. No, they can't do anything about it apart from using boost, which they probably should have in the previous stint rather than thinking about it now. Because RWB can't react, so. But now they're just stuck.
Yeah, I think fundamentally though the RWB is a quicker car.
Yeah, but I think once they would get a couple
of
seconds ahead and add DRS, I don't think it would be much of a problem. I think they would stay ahead. But at this rate, they're just falling behind in the queue, and I don't think RWB at the moment is closing that much on 4th place upwards.
Rodriguez has gone on the boost.
Oh god, yes, those are the 2 Aston Martins, which unfortunately are down so far at the moment. Obviously, they're down in last places, unfortunately, because they're not.
Yeah, I think one of the Arrows at least will run out of fuel though, so they may be saved from that terrible fate of being at the back of.
Well, we don't know about Aston Martin though.
Their fuel will be fine.
All right.
Chiva is now leading that quartet of Alfa Romeo powered cars. He is in 5th position.
Yes, I forgot that they have Alpha engines. They could do them a favour, but I suspect not. As their supply, obviously that's going to end. Well, it's going to end. Well, it might not end this season, to be fair, because I think Alpha might just continue. But we'll see about that. Obviously.
Yeah, we will see.
That's probably the one element to Alpha's leaving that has not really been discussed as much yet.
No, well, there's a lot still to be discussed on the table, but X passes to Pi.
On a table? What kind of table? A round table?
Yes, I suspect it will be rather round, in probably the Bibendum restaurant in Fulham. But anyway, Prost leads as he starts lap 51.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see some drivers in this lap.
Yeah, probably the right distinct length for the end, for mediums. Softs, obviously not. That needs to be 12 at most. Probably less, really, if you want an ideal stint.
Yeah, I think different teams have different economies, but I think certainly.
I don't think it makes that massive much of a difference, though. I think you just want to be.
Yeah.
I think you just want about 10 or 11 laps rather than 12. Definitely not what RWB did earlier in the race.
No, RWB have got good enough tyre economy to run 13 or 14.
Yeah, but I think they still lost time, though, especially in Chiva's case. Obviously, they're okay now because in terms of the strategy, it just worked out. Obviously, they're just quick enough. Obviously, as you say, they've got one of the quickest cars. But, yeah, well, what we've been saying is the best car for quite a number of weekends now. Which is just true.
Yes, in theory it is, yes, and it looks like it is. So
yeah, makes you wonder what they could do with someone who's not Eddie Chiva or Jackie X. Anyway, X to the lead as they cross the line for lap 53.
Yeah, well,
so
Reutemann, Lotus have got a really good pick because every time Reutemann is gaining massively on Prost. Every single time, Reutemann is gaining massively on Prost.
Yes, go on.
Just every single time they in the pit
Mm.
in the round of stops.
Yeah.
So Lotus have clearly got a very good pit crew.
Yeah. Or it's just a weird thing about this place. I wouldn't put it past Jack Basford. We've already seen today a bug in the game in terms of the starts, which I'm almost sure it's the same thing as France. Which apparently he's going to address certain things about that track in the next update, but we'll see. We'll see if he sticks to his word, because he doesn't often do. Anyway, the front, so it's Stomlin, obviously the Pi, then the two RVBs, making a bit of a break, but not enough, the two Alphas, because it seems like Chiva always closes in the back half of the circuit, in the final corner especially. That just seems to be where a lot of cars do manage to gain back time, even though they're about nearly a second behind.
Oh yeah, the DRS here is extraordinary. It's so powerful, but anyway.
Yeah.
On the outside, Prost, they're going 3 wide, those guys, and that's allowing Peterson to get a bit of a breakaway. But yeah, the 4-stop is not working, I think, sufficiently for... No, they get are Alpha... No, they're not going to go to super soft at the end. That'd be madness. But
That would be interesting.
then again, it is Alfa Romeo, so...
It'd be interesting, though, you must agree.
Oh, yes, I do agree.
Yeah. So...
It would be interesting, but it would be madness.
Well, yes, but anything to try and win. Obviously, they haven't won since what was it, Brazil?
No, Bahrain.
Oh yes,
their only win of their title defence.
Yeah, yeah, it was Depay's second in Brazil, wasn't it? But yeah, there was that win, which was rather fortunate because yeah, well, we'll get over that.
Yeah, I think there's some dodgy stint lengths going on here, but I'm not
surprised
swear
by
to it.
I'm not particularly surprised by it at all. Would you be?
No, I mean, yeah, dodgy AI stint lengths.
Yeah,
No, some of them look alright.
Yeah, well, I think we were thinking about the RWBs, but that was before anyone even made the stop, wasn't it? Chiva went longer.
But... No, they were meant to go that long.
Well, you said but you said you thought Chiva. Yeah, but you said you thought Chiva was supposed to pit the previous lap, so obviously you just forgot.
Anyway, they're trying to stay behind this Arrows clearly.
They're quite far behind though. That's the problem they've got. Although they'll close back up.
Right with a Brabham as well.
What would you do now? Get Stomlin as your best chance? But the problem is, though, you're just not going to close in far enough at the moment. You need...
I think Depay's a better bet than Stomlin.
Well, I suppose they'll hope that, you know, Finney gets it.
They've dropped RWB, though, by the looks of it.
Well, I suppose they'll hope they'll get up behind the back marker instead, rather than relying on each other. And maybe it holds up the front four. But, yeah. I think...
They are not too far away.
Anyway, I think further back, Rint's got a slight chance that he could get a point, but I think it's pretty...
Yes, but Gavin out of fuel, that's what I was expecting.
Oh god, that's very light.
That's why it's so quick.
So it's going to be another... Well, it's going to be a non-finish, isn't it?
It'll be a third of the season.
Well, yes.
Third non-finish of the season after, or fourth actually.
Will it be an NC? Yeah, it will be an NC, won't it? Because it won't be enough for the distance.
Yeah, it's retired. I think it's the fourth.
Rather than just a not finished but classified. I think it will.
Yeah, because with Peterson in the USA, I think both Alphas failed to finish in Monaco.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. Anyway, to front. So Peterson, Jarrier, Prost, two Alphas still not yet here. No one's really used any of their boosts, to be honest. I think Prost used smidgen amount, and Peterson's used the most out of the top four. Reutemann with his full battery, I think, and then both Alphas still with a full battery. Anyway, the Pi is going to be...
Prost's got full battery as well.
No, not based on what I'm seeing on the graphics.
Yeah, no, because it's just recharged.
Oh, did it just recharge? Yeah, it looked like it was about 5% less, though, rather than just 1. As it crossed the line, but anyway, so everyone's now got one apart from Peterson, but he might have a decent amount by the end of the race.
Yeah, Peterson's all right. I think everyone's pretty much all right on this.
Yep.
There's the decrepit Arrows cars.
Yep, it's still touring around, obviously.
Both of them
Yep.
out of fuel.
Yep. I'm surprised it's taken this long. Although it's not
Yeah,
very
so
long
they
lap.
feel it's starting to string out a bit.
Mm.
The top four, as they are being approached, but not at a great pace by the Alfa Romeos, although they are probably will be next lap actually in this hunt. So that'll be interesting to see.
Yep.
The Alphas.
Yep. That's for sure.
What can they do? As I think they're probably going to boost. They're not going to boost. They are going to use the tyre. That's the sensible man's move. But they're going to go and try and use... why are the arrows still here? How are they should be... I mean, this is what the safety car is for.
Yeah.
This is what we should have a safety car for. But...
it should just send them into the pit lane, finally.
oh, finally.
Yeah, it should just send them into the pit lane.
Several
because,
laps.
I mean, if they can get round to the pit lane, it should just put them in straight away.
As Rint is actually, yeah, passes... 4 days. So Rint does have a shot at Serval's
Yeah, the
Gamma.
only issue he might have is the fact that he hasn't got enough of a boost advantage over
I was
Jerry.
going to say fuel. I was going to say.
Well, yeah, that may be as well, to be fair. Although it's a bit less fuel around here, so... no. It depends, though, because they're obviously having to run quite high today for some reason. Some reason they can't get their tyres working as well. So maybe they will run out. Maybe even Scheckter will. I think Scheckter, based on merit, though, should finish 9th. He wouldn't have been that far.
I don't think he's going to catch the guys ahead.
Oh, no. He won't catch the IVs too far behind. He needs to be about 10 seconds behind rather than 28. But
right, Alfa Romeo are here.
Yeah. They already were here, to be fair, in Stoblin's case. And then Depay had to just keep up, which he has done, and he's now into 4th place. So, you would argue that they should win this race, really, but we'll see. Just depends on the positioning. Everyone can do what they want, really. I don't think there's much of a problem for all the cars, unless Alpha are just so much faster, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think as long as there's no fuel issue, Rint should get 10th. But there possibly will be. Maybe not, though. Anyway. Focusing on the front. Here goes Stoblin then. So he's using his boost now. Everyone's trying to keep up. Stoblin is a runaway at the moment. Depay is a bit further back. I don't think certain people would be happy about that. Stoblin's just gone away from everyone. Obviously, he's using a lot more of his boost, so he will be in trouble later on. He's just using all of it at the moment.
Yeah. He is running away, and I think that is going to be the first victory for the defending champion, unless he is caught. As Prost just got stuck behind that traffic.
Jarry is the only one. I think Jarry is the only one who can get him, and I don't think it's going to happen. It's going to be Rolf Stoblin who's going to win for Alfa Romeo.
Yeah.
From Jarry, Reutemann, Depay, Prost, Peterson, Ix, Cheever, Scheckter should be 9th. I think Jabri will hold on to 10th, because I don't think Rint is close enough to get him. And indeed not. 10th for Jabri, 11th Rint, 12th Bourdais, 13th Gurney as he crosses the line, Andretti 14th. Terrible day for Ferrari. And also Brabham, who are 15th and 16th, 17th Rodriguez and 18th Beltoile. So the two arrows. Non-classified cars, I think Gavan was ahead, maybe? Or was he behind? I can't remember. I don't know which one was.
I think he was ahead in the race when he retired. But
yeah, okay, so, yeah, you may... well, it depends when they run out of fuel, though.
I think he'll be classified behind.
Yeah, because I think he obviously ran out of fuel first, and then Baldi passed him, and then ran out of fuel. So, 19th Baldi, then.
So, Prost should have been second in that race, but lost out because of a back marker blocking him in the middle sector.
Yeah.
As is customary now with the stupid wheel-to-wheel.
Yeah, but it's a bad day for McLaren, really. Not a good day for
well, it's stupid because it's down to the wheel-to-wheel was blocking.
Well, I know what's going to be said afterwards, though. That's for sure. Considering the good man who's been moaning about everything all season, will probably change his tune after this race.
Yes, well, the reigning champion does win a race. But anyway, Reutemann extends his lead at the top of the championship thanks to the misfortune of Prost on that final lap, who drove a better race today and should have been second. So Reutemann on 143 points now leads by 10 over Prost on 133, Peterson on 132, Jarre on 130. Then it's the two Alphas, 85 points for Depay ahead of Stomlin on 79, Beltois on 68, Jabouille on 62, Andretti still on 50, Bourdais still on 47 in 9th and 10th, Ix in 11th on 34 ahead of Cheever on 30, Gurney on 25 thanks to his win in America. Then it's Jody Scheckter in 14th in the championship on 19 points, Gonzalo Rodriguez on 17, Jochen Rindt 16, 15 for Nannini, 13 for Eamon and Pache, and then yet to score Gavan and Baldi. And the team's championship, Lotus take the lead, with they now have 273 points ahead of McLaren with 265. Alfa Romeo over 100 behind on 164. Then it is Ligier on 109. Ferrari still on 88, Aston still on 85, RWB closing in on 64, Tyrrell on 35 ahead of Brabham on 29, and then yet to score are the Arrows team.
Yep, indeed. So we will be obviously back next weekend for the Austrian IGP, so back-to-back in German-speaking countries, as is often the case in this championship. Is it a bit of a later date for Austria in our championship?
Could be.
I can't remember. Sure. I think we've had late dates before in terms of the Finny, a bit of a rather than being impacted in the first half of the season. Although I don't think that's actually happened a lot, has it? But yeah, we'll be there next weekend, obviously, and then following in that last couple races: Italy, Malaysia, Singapore, Japan, and Australia, I believe. 4 of those all flyaways. The last European race of the season after Austria in 2 weeks' time. But anyway, until then, it is